What's up, VC? This is Brad. No vinyl here, so I'm not going to call myself H2Vinyl. This is a life update, a Batou update. Here's Buddy Batou. Um, it's been a very big week. Batou's been to the vet 3 times this week: Monday, Wednesday, and for today, Friday. And early this morning, about 2 in the morning, I saw him vomiting foam. He was weak. He was pupils dilated. He was shaking. He felt warm, and he wasn't eating and drinking. And so I took him to the emergency clinic close. It's about 15 minutes away from my house, and uh, I'm gonna try. So much has happened this week. I'm gonna try and keep everything straight. They did blood work again. The blood work kind of pointed to liver disease. His BUN, which is liver, um, the waste that travels from the liver to the kidneys, if I get that straight, I'm not a doctor, was lower than it should have been. And then his levels for his liver are still elevated, um, probably mostly due to his digestion of fat. That's probably why he feels like crap, and why he wasn't eating and everything. I believe he was also dehydrated because he wasn't drinking water, um, or enough water anyway. And so they were able to inject fluids into him, and they told me to force feed him food. And so they weren't exactly this, but they were like this. And so this morning, these little pellets, uh, I force fed him for an hour and a half, and that's basically shoving food down his throat. Um, Somehow, some way, I didn't think I had the courage for that, but I do, and I'll do it again if I have to. Um, so I had an appointment automatically with the vet this morning, and they did an ultrasound of his liver and kidneys. I don't know if you can see that, but he's shaving right there. Feels very weird. This is the second time he's been shaving in his life. Um, 9 years ago, he was diagnosed with heart disease, where, well, just like in humans, the heart enlarges because of fluid buildup around the heart. And what was it? Was it 10? 10 months? No, it was probably 16 months. 16 months later was he and his sister were diagnosed the same week with the same heart disease, and 16 months later were miraculously healed. There's no signs whatsoever of heart disease. The vet said today that Bato's heart is a little larger, but nothing majorly to be concerned. The biggest concern is the liver. The liver. They did an ultrasound. One of his kidneys is slightly smaller, which is also a concern, but not as much as the liver. Um, the liver, the vet believes that the liver is suffering with fatty liver disease, which is thankfully treatable by a small pill that is taken every 72 hours. Um, but she also didn't want to rule out the fact that he might have cancer, and cancer of the liver, and there's no mass to remove by surgery. It is, if it is cancer, it has enveloped his entire liver, and um, chemotherapy would need to be used. And um, we talked about cost. We talked about cost. My air went out this week too. In Florida, air conditioning is a must thing, and I'm paying up close to $1,000 on that too to fix that. Um, I've paid a good amount this week. I love my buddy, and I want him well. I'm hoping the vet says to let's treat it as fatty liver disease, because with one pill we'll probably start seeing him improve over a few days, rather than automatically doing a biopsy to check his liver to see if he has cancer, which would require surgery and a lot of extra cost. But I did ask for a quote on that. But the thought of quality of life for him came up, because I don't want to be feeding him all his life. I don't want to be shoving things down his throat all of his life. Pills I can manage, but carrying him to go urinate and excrement, basically, that's not quality. And to pick him up and have him whine every time I do, and it's not the type of life that I want for him. And so the doctor was also very very kind in saying, there's a better word for that, very kind in saying that that I don't need to feel guilty because I might not be able to spend the money, and that quality of life is the most important factor. That even after the surgery, or the surgery, and then even the chemotherapy, would his quality of life be worth it? He has hair, and so he would lose everything, and it would be like Breaking Bad, and humans can almost barely deal with that, and cats. I would say almost any animal should not be gone through that kind of treatment. As hard as this is to say, my belief is that it would be better to put him down. And so I'm wrestling with that and hoping for the best, but also realizing the best might not come. And so he's been my buddy for 12 years. I adopted him February 5th of 2006. So we just passed our 12-year mark, and he has been a joy of my life every single day. And I just remember times of when I was sick with a fever. He woke me up by licking my forehead, and then putting his forehead up against mine, and then licking my forehead some more to put his forehead up against mine again, to start licking me again. And he's so smart. He knew I wasn't feeling well. Why else would he try and cool me down with his saliva? But he's a smart guy. Able to open doors, able to open cupboards. You open up something, you open up a door, he's there in 10 seconds. Maybe not anymore, but he's a good man. So I want to say this, that the response that I got from my last video, I'm overwhelmed, and I've tried to respond equally to how I feel, for the thoughts, the prayers, and the vibes. Thank you. I ask that you please keep it up. To me, these are kind of dark times for my friend, and yeah. So so I wanted to say thank you all for everything, and understanding that I'm taking a leave of absence right now from the VC. But I did want to give you this update and ask that you would keep thinking about us, keep praying for us, and keep sending those good vibes. So hope everyone is doing well, and hope to talk with you soon again. Bye.